law of assumption. You can use anything as a placebo. There is such a thing as quantum jumping. You want to get positive momentum. You will be amazed to see the result. I know you can do this. Hello, beautiful friends. It's Gigi. Welcome back to my channel. I am literally sitting crisscross on a pillow on the floor, and I have my laptop here because I'm here to answer your questions. My goal, my sole intention is to have you understand the law of assumption and to be able to apply it and get results in your life. So that's why I'm making this video. I won't say names, but I will be reading the questions and then answering them. And feel free to comment below if you do recognize your question and you have more to ask or you want to say anything. And I will be making more Q&A videos like this. So comment below if you have any questions at all. I will collect them. I might do a Q&A box on the community tab as well, but I'm just going to have to go live at some point. Let's jump right in. So I'm going to paraphrase the first question here that I picked, asking about revision. And this person wants to know how to incorporate revision into their manifesting routine, into their daily affirmation routine. They're asking, is there a way that I recommend incorporating this into their routine? If I recommend doing revision first all day long. And the first thing I want to say to this is trust your instincts, trust your gut. Remember that you make the rules. In the law of assumption, what you assume to be true always ends up being true. So if you're feeling like doing 15 times a day of repeating the news story that you revised for 15 days in a row is way overkill. That's something I brought up in my revision video, is that if I'm really dead set on revising something, I'm like focused for 2 weeks straight, just going in on affirming the new story. But you don't have to do that. Follow your instincts. If you're getting exhausted or burnt out, you can say this to yourself. I can just repeat the new story once in the morning and once at night. And that solidifies that the new story is the real story for me. It is that simple. That is all you have to say to yourself. This solidifies the new story for me once in the morning, once at night. That's how powerful I am. And that's that. That's your rule for yourself. And the way that I really can tell that the new story is hardened into fact is when the old story is kind of getting fuzzy in my mind because the favorable thing that I revised it to is so crystal clear now. The other thing just kind of seems like I can barely even remember the details of that. That's the feeling you want. You want to feel like that old unfavorable story is so far-fetched. It's so just hard to even imagine because it never even happened. You see? See what I mean? Okay. Feel free to comment below. This next question I'm about to answer is a really good one because I see questions like this a lot. It seems like time crunch questions are just really prevalent. And I understand why. We live in a world bound by time. And even though time is an illusion, it's not real, all we ever have is now, it's something that as humans we think about a lot. So the question was wanting to manifest graduating from college, even though circumstances, which I won't read the whole question, but circumstances in this person's reality were indicating to them that this would be difficult to do or might seem unrealistic because of a time crunch situation. And what I want to say is this is your chance to go hyper discipline mode. And this might not be the most fun thing to hear when you're like, okay, I'm already having a hard time focusing on this and not getting triggered, especially when people are asking me questions about it. And now you're telling me to just double down on focusing on it. But yes, that is what I'm telling you. And here is why. You want to get as much positive momentum, a positive snowball effect, of favorable thoughts going so that the closer you get to that graduation date, the more self-assured you feel versus the more nervous and anxious and desperate you feel. So we want to be kind to ourselves, starting with the least resistant type of activities like sleep affirmation tapes and subliminals. You can make your own subliminals as well, custom to this particular thing. And in this case, I would recommend flipping thoughts as much as possible because it is something with a time frame, right? I do think if you're flipping thoughts indefinitely, that can feel very burdensome. But if you know that you're preparing for something that is time sensitive, tell yourself, I can do anything for a period of time. This isn't going to be forever that I'm focused on this. Some people don't like the term mental diet because it reminds them of a negative connotation. But I would invite you to look at mental diet as something fun, as a game. Like, okay, I'm just going to be making this a game with myself, and the reward is getting what I want. So why wouldn't I do that? And spend time just saturating yourself as much as possible with the new story. And even think to yourself in the back of your mind, oh, wow, I can't wait to get my hair done before graduation. Like, think of things that you would inevitably be doing if that was 100% fact that that was going to be happening. It would be like if someone really wants to get married, they would be thinking of, oh, let me pick out the dress. I can't wait to book my hair appointment or whenever. They're thinking of all the steps and all the exciting things that happen naturally before the big event. I kind of want you to play with that. Play with the fun, the lightness, even if it seems like a heavy topic, if people are asking you a million details about what's your plan, what are you doing? Flip those thoughts. Oh, they're actually congratulating me, or they're asking me this question because they know it's a surefire thing. And they're actually reassuring me that this is going to happen inevitably because there's no other possible reality. You can do this. I know you can, but we are not looking at the 3D and we're not torturing ourselves. We're not going down social media rabbit holes or looking for answers outside of ourselves. No, we're not. We are being super, super focused. I've been in time crunch situations, and the only thing that saved me was being like laser focused to the point where I would script like a maniac whenever I had a spare moment in favor of what I wanted. And I know you can do this. And congratulations on your graduation. Okay, this next question I want to answer, even though I did respond to it in the comment section as well. And the question was, they're currently manifesting their dream job, but they don't meet the mandatory job qualifications, 3D circumstance that they're identifying. And they did apply. However, now they're having a hard time getting into the state of the wish fulfilled, feeling all good emotions like certainty, excitement, and knowing without doubt it's theirs. And then they said, I've come to find that techniques like journaling, visualizing, and affirmations really do not help me get into that feeling state. So I'm wondering if I can manifest this job without using techniques and how I can maintain the feeling state. So in my written response to them, recommended starting with the things they're least resistant first, that they're not going to be like, having this opposing feeling. Like if you're writing something, you're journaling it out and at the same time thinking like, this is never going to happen. This is BS. I'm just feeling more hopeless the more I write. That is defeating the purpose of the technique. So I said, start with sleep affirmation tapes and subliminals and things that you're not going to have an opposing thought, negative reaction to. However, I would like to add something very important. You do not need to be feeling all of those grateful, certain, 100% clear and reassured feelings 24/7 about that particular thing in order to manifest it. Let's be real. We're human beings. We have mood swings. And so I don't want you to be hard on yourself in feeling like you have to be in this elevated high vibration all the time in order to get this. Aim for neutrality is my number one tip. And work your way up with the least resistant techniques first until you can get to that neutrality and slowly build up that positive feeling about the certainty of having that thing. But you don't need to put this pressure on yourself that you need to be like elated every time you think about this new job and the inevitability that they're reviewing your application and overlooking the fact that there's this requirement and you're definitely going to get it. Until you can get into that state, take baby steps because there is such a thing as quantum jumping. But I think people aren't patient enough sometimes to realize that there is also a very natural bridge of incidents and chain of events. So trust the bridge of incidents and do not go down the 3D logical rabbit hole of how are they going to waiver the requirements, because you never know. There are a million reasons why that could be completely irrelevant. And remind yourself of that too, that we do not live in a world that just goes by straight logic. If we did, then a lot of miracles and a lot of spontaneous healings and a lot of these crazy stories that you've heard would have never happened. but yet they happened. So obviously, we don't live in a world ruled by straight logic. There's so many things that are unexplainable. So even if you need to return to that, like I am now a version of myself who believes in miracles, who believes in things happening that are not just based on by the book rules. If you can just get into that state, that neutral, anything can happen kind of state, that will inch you so much closer to your actual manifestation. I'm not going to directly answer this next one because, to be quite frank, I thought they were being sarcastic. I thought they were being facetious the first time I read the question, which is how to be immortal. But I'm realizing maybe they're just saying how to be ageless, how to age in reverse or feel more youthful. This also had a comment response below that said, go to Sammy's Mermaid Gang, which is Sammy Ingram's community. And she talks a lot about manifesting the impossible all the time. So go check out Sammy Ingram's content. I have learned so much from Sammy. She's amazing. I can answer this question myself in a way that I'm comfortable with by saying that you can create a whole bunch of affirmations about being ageless, people telling you all the time that you look younger than you are, feeling younger than ever, feeling like you have so much energy, just as much energy as when you were a kid or a teenager or whenever. Listen to subliminals, whether it's about appearance or about energy level or about your physicality in general. You will be amazed to see the results. I've personally benefited from this. People think I'm so much younger than I am all the time. And I'm just like, seriously? It never ceases to amaze me. So affirmations, scripting, and visualization. That's my answer to your question. Imagine yourself more vibrant and more youthful than ever. And I just feel like that will enliven you. Of course, take everything I say with a grain of salt. For the next question, what do I think about sleep affirmation tapes? And I did already respond in the comments, but I love sleep affirmation tapes. I think they're amazing. Just be selective and pick ones that look legitimate and that resonate with you. Because some YouTube channels out there seem a little bit sus, I'm not going to lie. And I like to go to trustworthy sources. So Dylan James is who I go to for sleep affirmation tapes. And I have a couple of subliminal channels as my go-to nighttime subliminals. I have to shout out my girl Tiff. She is amazing. Go check out her subliminals. I love listening to them, even when I'm working during the day. But yeah, just pick channels, pick people and voices that resonate with you. And remember that they only work as well as you allow them to work. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to listen to the sleep affirmation tape and it's going to help my manifestation come twice as fast, then that's going to be what you experience. But if you're doubting it and saying, this is so silly, why am I doing this? Then it's not going to work for you. Law of assumption, you can use anything as a placebo, anything positive. I've never recommend doing a negative thing as a placebo, but let's just use common sense here. I wish common sense was common, but sadly not. Anyways, love sleep affirmation tapes. Just be a little bit picky and choosy about it. I really want to make a full video about this next question because I think I could make a whole dedicated video talking about this. And the person who commented was so sweet. Thank you for subscribing. The question was how to maintain a strong belief that your manifestation is going to happen, even when it seems impossible, or I'm guessing when you're starting to lose faith. Because I have a feeling you asked this question because you're looking at your 3D and you're feeling like the odds are stacked against you. And I think we've all been there. We've all had a desired manifestation that we really want that feels like it's going to be climbing Mount Everest to get it. And I want to invite you to remember how powerful you are, whether we're trying to manifest castle or a paperclip. I think that was an example from Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction. But it's the same no matter what we want to manifest. It's what we're telling ourselves about that thing that makes it either simple or complicated. And there's some layering to that. I totally understand that this is easier said than done, but I want to invite you to remember how powerful you are as the first step. You are pure consciousness. The whole power of the universe, God, is within you. So remember that first. Take a deep breath. Do anything to disrupt the negative or unsure emotions that you feel now and get back into the state of living from the end of this is already done. This is a done deal. This is natural. This is like the sky is blue, the grass is green. Just a fact. If you can't quite get there yet, just remind yourself that manifestation is not a gimmick. It's not just something someone made up one day because they felt like it. It's something that we're all doing, whether we're actively choosing to do it or not. We're all creating our realities, whether we're conscious of it or not. What we see and what we experience is based on what we're thinking and how we're acting. And the world is responding to us. We're not just responding to the world. Okay, sorry for the camera shift. I'm going to have a better camera setup soon, but it is what it is right now. Anyways, you are creating your reality, claiming your reality because it already exists. Creation is finished based on what's happening in your mind. Neville talks about how everything comes from our imagination. So I would recommend spending more time in your imagination in whatever way that looks like for you. Obviously, I know that doesn't always feel feasible, but if you can just remember that you're 4D, your mental conception of things is what is creating the material world around you, and that there is so much more to life than what is visible, then you will remind yourself of your innate power to create, to claim, to identify with the version of yourself that can have this thing that you put on a pedestal and deemed as impossible right now. It's not impossible. What you want can happen. It's just a matter of also not reminding yourself of evidence and focusing on things and reasons and logic that would tell you otherwise, because that will derail you. That will lead you astray. I hope that this answer helped you. And I want to quickly answer another question that this person left in the comments. They were asking for any tips on appearance change, manifesting how to change your appearance. It's just a matter of looking in the mirror and not allowing the old story to repeat and repeat and repeat. And it might feel silly. I would paint this picture in my mind, looking in the mirror and not allowing myself to say anything negative. Personally, I have focused mostly on feeling like my face is more vibrant, my skin is glowing, that my facial structure is snatched. Those were the manifestations that I focused on personally for appearance change and have found success with, just by repeating those exact things, that I'm glowing from the inside out, my cheekbones are super high and defined, and I would visualize as well as saying those things to myself on loop every time I was doing my makeup. Like in the past, I used to have not the best internal dialogue about my appearance, and I'd be like, oh, my eyes look so puffy when I wake up. My skin is so dull and dry, and oh my gosh, I'm breaking out again, and oh, like all that negative stuff. And I would always be critiquing and looking for something to improve. And instead, I am really disciplined about my affirmations whenever I'm doing my skincare routine or anything like that. So I'm talking about my own experience, of course, and this is all like facial stuff, but you can also manifest major appearance change physically, looking more toned and fit if that's something you desire, or more curvy and voluptuous if that's something you desire. No matter what you want, it might feel delulu to you, but Rita Kaminsky is a great example of this. She's a law of assumption YouTuber that you might have already heard of her. She's very successful. She has manifested major appearance change physically. And I know she has recommended using the state akin to sleep, SATs, visualizing, which I have a whole video on that, which I can link above as well. So maybe that's what you do. You visualize a 5 to 10-second loop of you looking in the mirror saying, insert appearance change here. I'm so happy that happened. And just having fun with it. Again, life is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be so serious. It's not supposed to be like this horrible, arduous task to feel confident in our own skin. That's just something the media will tell you, or society will tell you, or outside opinions will tell you to try to get you to buy every product under the sun or try every diet. No, we're not doing that anymore. You could literally sit in your bed and just be really disciplined about visualizing and your internal dialogue, inner conversations, and get what you want 10 times faster. I know, like this summer, for example, I'm planning on being very busy and doing a lot of things, and I might not be able to keep up with the same fitness routine that I would normally want to in the summer. I'm already thinking about how I'm going to manifest that. That doesn't matter. In fact, I'm actually feeling more energized and more toned and more fit than ever, regardless of whether I'm going to the gym consistently. That's something I'm going to do this summer. I already decided because I don't want to feel like if I don't do this, then this is going to happen. Like we make the rules in our reality. And so don't ever feel like your appearance is conditioned on what you do. People think that they have to do a certain thing. Half of the things that they're doing are placebos anyway. Obviously, do what makes you feel good and take care of your health, but like, don't feel like you missing 2 weeks of workouts means that you're doomed and you're never going to get your manifestation. You're so much more powerful than that. You're so much stronger than that. Consciously, you can create any role in your reality. I think having an accountability buddy can help mentally staying focused, having like one or two people who are going to reaffirm your belief, like, yeah, you look good today, you're killing it. Manifest making friends who hype you up and reaffirm your appearance change too, if you don't already have people in your life like that. I know it's not fun to have people in your life reaffirming something about your appearance that you feel like hasn't changed yet, but just think about that as your old beliefs purging. And your new appearance change is inevitable. I know it. I know it for a fact because I've seen an insane amount of appearance changes for the better since I shifted my mind. I also used to have acne, like bad, my late teens and early 20s, which I know is also related to my health in general and my lifestyle. But I really think my mindset is what allowed me to maintain an appearance that I love and that I'm proud of. I think we shouldn't feel bad about wanting an appearance change. We're entitled to that. We're living in these bodies. Why not make the best of it? And why not constantly strive to be better in a healthy way and not in a negative way? We can accept ourselves and love ourselves exactly as we are while also experimenting with new looks and having fun, embodying our energy in a creative, unique way and expressing ourselves. Those two things can coexist. You know what I mean? Okay. That's my little rant on that topic, but I want to talk more about it because that's something I'm passionate about. That's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that these answers help. And even if you didn't ask any of these questions, maybe you got something out of the answers that I provided and the questions that people left. I'm just so glad to be building community here. I hope I can be a resource to you in as many ways as I possibly can be. I want to create some free resources as well. There's so many things in the works. I'm just so grateful to have this platform. Like, thank you from the bottom of my heart, everyone who is here and who has subscribed. I just get really emotional because we're so blessed to be able to even create YouTube channels, to be able to connect with people. You know, when I zoom out, I'm like, whoa, what an honor, what a privilege to be able to even show up and have the time in my day to create these videos and connect with these amazing people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. I love you all from the bottom of my heart and soul. And yeah, leave any questions below. I will make another video like this at some point. I'll catch you next time. Bye.